Hello and welcome to a case study that I am doing on a client. She has just started. We are 2 weeks going on 3 weeks in now. And she is down 5 pounds in those first 2 weeks, right? So this has been her third week coming up. So I'm going to go over that stuff with her. But I just want to, go over how she's done so far in these first 14 days, okay? I'm going to show you a couple of things that I've done to implement and help her, but as you can kind of see, right, the only thing we have scheduled is 3 full body days per week. So we've been making some adjustments as we go forward. I just did a check-in call with her this Saturday. That way I can kind of see and go over a couple other things that she might have some struggles with, like bench dips, just because, she is a little bit older, so like a couple things might hurt due to like arthritis and just not having this strength and flexibility in some joints. So we've been going through a couple things, making some changes as we go through. Another thing I want to show you is a few of her meal guides. Like, I provide examples to clients based on like what they kind of already eat. So what I do is go inside of their MyFitnessPal, right? So I have any client track for the first few days of their program, right? So the first week, my job is to like go in, see what they're doing, and then essentially build off of what they currently eat, so that way we can hit their macro targets. Now, she's a smaller individual, so she's not eating as much as maybe someone that might be like 5'7", so she's a lot shorter. So just making sure she's eating a lot, and for her, close to 1,500 calories is a lot more food than she's really used to. So she has done before keto, she's done I think like Weight Watchers and a couple other different diets, and every time she says like she usually has to cut everything out, and she can't really eat a lot of things in terms of like certain foods, right? Because a lot of diets will be like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't eat this, and then they have a very strict meal guide. So with my meal guides, they're going to be a lot different, right? They're a lot more realistic in a sense of people that can actually like eat those foods. And throughout her program, I'm going back in and I'm showing her even more ways to create better meal guides for her based on the foods that she's eating. So showing her like where she's missing things, where she can add things in. And this is what I do with all my clients. So as you see, like a couple other ones, even this one, right? So I'm giving her like taco bowls and burger bowls and a couple things that require a little cooking. She's not someone that is big on veggies, so essentially just showing her like, hey, you can still eat some stuff that you like that are veggies, and just implement it that way, so she can get those foods in. It's not something that she doesn't like. It's not something that like she has to force herself to eat. So showing her the ways of nutrition. My clients also have access to a nutrition guide ebook, which shows over 100 different meal guides, just like I showed you. So they get their own, but they also are getting access to that. So like it builds out some meal plans for them, and then all they have to do is plug it in and like adjust from there. So that's really in a nutshell what it kind of looks like in the first 2 weeks. But like I said, I just wanted to show you guys behind the scenes, like, and she did complete this day, but there's some days where she might miss days, and she'll just get like a walk in and things like that. So she's not always working out like extreme. And I want you guys to kind of see like, hey, there's no reason for you to have to like work out like crazy in order to see results. So she started off at like 158, and she's now down to 153. And like I said, this is just in the first 2 weeks. So there's no doubt in my mind over the next course of the remaining weeks that she has left, she has a lot of time left with me, that she will also be like dropping a bunch of more weight, more inches, and essentially just learning how to eat a lot better. Like she's already saying like she doesn't feel the need to eat as much sweets. She's still eating stuff, and I can even show you that, but she's like learning to make it fit in her macros, and this is exactly what I show clients how to do. So let me pause this and I'll pull up her stuff. This is what I mean by like being able to eat foods and stuff like that maybe you didn't really think you could. Like she's still getting in Chips Ahoy, like, and she's still hitting her macro targets like perfectly. So this is exactly what I show clients what to do. This is exactly when I go in and I tell them, like, hey, like, stuff like that's going to happen. I think I went too far in advance, but, and showing her, like, hey, you can still have different things and implement stuff. So, like, days like this, I'm like, hey, you could get a little bit more protein in, but honestly, she's pretty much right on the mark, because I give clients, like, a 20% threshold on how accurate they need to be. So if that's something you're struggling with in terms of, like, do I have to be, like, this day was pretty good for her, but you don't need to be 100% dead on. We're also, like, really monitoring. She's doing great with, like, low sodium. Her sugar intake's really low. So for her, she's going to automatically start to really reap the benefits of that, because for her, it's going to, like, lower the inflammation, especially as we age, right? We get a lot more inflammation, arthritis, things like that. So lowering her sugar intake, you don't need to completely knock it out. You just need to make sure you're monitoring it and not eating in excess, right? I have a lot of clients that would be eating, when we first started, like close to 100 grams of sugar per day, and not realizing it until we start plugging it in and really taking a look and, like, peeling behind the layers. So for her, like, really good. There's a couple days where she's a little over on fat, but that's not a big deal either, because she's close to her calorie amount and she's close to her protein amount. So that's really a big thing right there. But you can still have, like, chips, you can still have cookies, you can still have, she has wine in here some days. You can still have things like that without stressing about, like, being perfect. And she's already lost weight. So that's what I mean. Like, as long as you have a good basically roadmap on what to do, like, have someone show you exactly how to eat in terms of your macro targets, lay that out for you. After that, it's pretty much plug and play, and really, really easy. And like I said, they all have access to my nutrition guidelines ebook, and I'll pull that up too to give you a little inside look on that. Alright, so this is just some of the things that clients get access to. They have a lot more, but they get, like, all of this, and there's more within the course as well. But this is the one I was really talking about in terms of the amount of meal guides that they get access to. And again, this is just my end on things. It doesn't look like this one gets pulled up. But they're able to print this out if they want. But we dive into, like, what macros even are. And they have, like, literally an endless amount of meal prep ideas, meal ideas, breakfast ideas, lunch ideas, snack ideas, how to hit their macro targets based on what theirs are, how to adjust them. I give them a video on exactly how to use this. So it makes it really, really simple. And you can see, like, there's, like, tons and tons of pages on this. So they can never really run out of information, and it's constantly being updated. So this week I'm going to add in a couple more based on, like, some past client meal guides that I create. Sometimes I'll just make new ones and throw them in there that are really simple to follow. But, I try to avoid the typical types of, like, meal guides that are in every single ebook on the face of the earth. I can literally pull up a different coach's one, and it's going to look exactly like another coach's. So just showing people how to really eat has been, like, a game changer for her too. So and that's what we talked about on Saturday, is just, like, how much better everything is in terms of not having to cut out things. She's eating bagels, she's eating like other foods that she had to cut out in the past from past diets. Let me go back over here. Of course, this is gonna act weird, but she's, like, eating different foods. She's also, like, a creature of habit, so she sticks with some things, but she doesn't feel the need to, like, cut out bagels and still having potato chips, like, stuff like that is realistic for people, is really, really important. And then not feeling like they're stuck in this corner of, like, this is what I have to eat, this is the only thing I'm allowed to eat. I show them how to eat, I show them how to incorporate things and learn from there. So it's exactly how she's lost weight so far, and how she's going to keep doing it as we move forward. So hopefully this case study was a good little inside look. Again, this is just, like, a very small sliver of the program, but we really dive into a lot more in terms of, like, supplement intake, how to train, fixing things for people, how to improve their workouts, how to improve their nutrition, and they have a whole entire course modules on this that they have access to forever as well. So that concludes this case study. And if you have any questions on anything, you want to learn a little bit more about it, shoot me a message with the word FIT, F-I-T in capital, and I'll start to, give you some more details in terms of what the program really looks like. Like I said, this is just a very, very small sliver in terms of how people are successful in this program.